Hello, hi. Today I'm going to talk about this data security in Incorta. Okay, so this is the feature which allow the user about deployment to enable data security. That means different user will log into the application, see different data. Okay. So the scenario is that you may develop your dashboard, report, and a schema. You can then want, and all this user can use the same dashboard report and against the same schema. Okay, and they may come in from different organization. They may come in at working at a different hierarchy level, and they may play different roles in your enterprise. But each of them should only see the slice of the data. Okay, that's the purpose. For example, like administrator may be able to view the data for investigating issues. Division manager may only view their performance for their own divisions and also their chart org. Right? And the manager may view the information such as headcount or for their own organization based on hierarchy. But these are the few scenarios that try to give you a sense like how this data security is supported in Incorta. Okay, so this diagram, I tried to draw how the data security work in Incorta. Okay, so we can view this here. So basically, when the user log in to Incorta, what we do is that we initiate the session variable. So session variable are specific to a given user and for a given session. Okay, so that means that having the latest information available. Okay, and in Incorta, there's two different ways to initiate this session variable to acquire the value. One is that we can go back to query the external database. Another way is that query the Incorta data store. Okay. Now, there are pros and cons of each of these options. I will describe this later. But this slide more from the process perspective, right? The process is that once the user log in, and the session variable become like the context will be used in a subsequent query. Okay. Then when the user go to view a dashboard and all issue and a query, so what the user will do is that the Incorta engine will go to find the data store capture in the memory. Okay. And it will try to display the data based on the dashboard definition, right? Dashboard basically is a query. So in addition to based on the query criteria user specified, Incorta also using the session variable as a way to determine dynamically the security filter. Okay, so this security filter may be something like division. It's a column in the table and equal to session variable division or division list. Right? That is that user can view. Right? So kind of like dynamically build this predicate. Sometimes people call this type of security filter predicate. Okay, so the Incorta attach this predicate to the query and only display the filter data to the user. Okay, this kind of like tell you the life cycle and how Incorta secure data. Okay. So in Incorta session variable, we have the built-in variable $user. This basically representing the login name of the user. Okay, so this is important that when you design your data security, you need to think about like which user, which login name should be used, because the login name, the value of login name need to be will be available in the session variable, and that can be available in the filter. So if you have a data access list, a table, that table need to somehow direct or indirectly filter or queried by the dollar user, which is the login name. And I'm going to go through the detail in the Incorta UI later in a demo. Okay, so this is the building variable, and in addition, we can also build the session context by issue the either internal variable or external variable. Okay, I'm going to go over this internal variable in a demo later. Okay, so these are the way to query, to fetch the data. And as I mentioned earlier, these two, each of these have like a pro and con. Okay, let me describe here. Internal variable is something which run against the Incorta data store. That also means that the data can only, as fresh as last time, the data was refreshed. Right. So that also means maybe having delay. If you refresh the table once a day, maybe like a nightly data load, then that means that if anything change in the policy store, in somewhere you say, okay, this user is moving, right? Or maybe transferred, or maybe left the company, right? And this will only available when the next time the data is refreshed. Okay. However, in Incorta, you don't need to wait for daily, right? You can schedule your this type of table. You can refresh like every 5 minutes. Okay, then this will be like a 5-minute delay, right? So this is depending on how often you refresh the data, and this internal variable will fetch the data during the session start time, and fetching the latest data from the data available in Incorta. Okay. External variable is different. External variable basically is not using not rely on the refresh of the data from the external source to Incorta. It can run against a SQL database and through a SQL statement. And we, during the user login time, right? And Incorta will issue this query against the external source. Okay, this basically means that the data will be real time. However, there's also a downside, right? Downside is that first of all, you think about from your data source perspective, right? If the data source is a transactional database, that means you will get hit whenever user log into Incorta, right? Depending on number of users logging into Incorta. If you have 1,000 user, that means that concurrent user, that means 1,000 session, database session, right? To get the data, right? So this is really a design option depending on how latency you can afford, and also how the data is available, and also how critical this is, right? In terms of like delay, right? So these are design consideration can mention here. Okay, the next thing is that security filter. Data security filter, this way I'm going to demo later. But the idea is that you can define a filter. Filter basically is like, for example, like if you are secured by division, there will be division from the table and equal to the division from the session variable, right? This option using the simple filter means that you can write that by select the column from the table, and that's very easy. Okay, formula-based filter, that is you can write the Incorta formula to do this. If you want to do like all condition, or you want to use like let's say if the session variable can have up to 1,000 element, then we suggest you to use formula-based filter. You will have some optimization, can support up to thousands element. Okay. This is something which I will walk through later in the demo. Okay. Okay. So now let's go to the demo. Okay. Let's see Incorta. Okay. I first not showing how you defined, but showing like how the data look like. Okay. So I create this demo. I use the demo data create in a Excel spreadsheet. Okay. Let me walk through this data table design. So kind of give you the idea what's the data look like. Okay. First, the assumption is that you have a budget table, okay, and the budget is allocated by organization, okay, and some of the budget are approved and some of the budget have yet approved, right? But this is budget amount. So this amount, I think you can interpret that this like maybe headcount, like or how many person to be hired for organization 1.1. And how many people can be, how many headcount is available for of one, right? It's different. This is a hierarchy. But today I'm not going to go through hierarchy, but we can also secure based on hierarchy. That would be more advanced topic. Okay, this just give you an idea that there's a transaction table. There's like a planning data like this. Need to be secure. You don't want like each organization, each manager for this organization can see each other's budget, right? So you want this table to be secure, okay? Then our assumption is that you can have a table like this. Okay, this is obviously a simplified assumption, but you can do like a multiple table join to reach this result. The idea is that you have a user. This may be like your employee number, or maybe like a login ID, like your email. Anyway, we assume this type of information maintained somewhere. That means that the user 100 can see the root of organization, can see the organization for the whole thing. And 101 can only see the org1, and 102 can only see org2 and org 1.1 for some reason. Okay, so this don't have to be 1-to-1, right? This tell you that one organization may be viewed by more than one manager. Okay, and sometimes the root the lib node of organization can also be allocate to like specific persons such as 103, right? And I assume this is a hierarchy table, and I'm going to show the hierarchy table in a more advanced topic, but kind of give you the idea that this organization are organized in a hierarchy manner, and the Incorta can secure by hierarchy. Okay, so this is the overview of the data. Now let me go over the data in Incorta. Okay. So let me log in as 100 who can see everything. This is the user I already created in the system. Okay. And when the 101 logging can see the data like this. Actually, okay, so let me go back to investigate the issue. And use the super. Super is the developer, is the admin user who create a dashboard and can query schema. Okay, so but it cannot access the data in the production system. Okay, so let me go over the data model here. Data model, I already load the Excel. Loading Excel, I can do this again. Basically, come to the data file, and the plus, and can upload the file, right? I can overwrite it. Okay. And then after you load the Excel spreadsheet, go to the schema to create a schema. I already have a schema created, but the schema creation is like this. Okay, create a schema. You can enter data security demo. I will enter 2 here. Okay, create. Okay, then go to Excel, and you can select the Excel table and load the table. And this is the budget already created and done. Then this is the table, created in Incorta. Then do the same thing for the other 2 table. Hierarchy table, we won't use it. I will just use the assets for now. Okay, and this is assets table. Okay, and done. Okay, so let's assume that these are the 2 table, and you can view the data. Okay, let me create another folder. Create folder data security demo 2. Okay, create, and you can extend the data. You can say, okay, I want to view the data, what the data look like, by creating a dashboard. Right? So you can see the assets table, and using the data type of using the chart type of table, and then go to demo 2 assets, and okay, there's no data because I have not loaded the table. Okay, let me go back to the load the data. Load it. This will only take a seconds. Okay. You see the data loaded. This is 9 row matched to the one in Excel. Right? The budget 9, removing the heading line, right? Okay, and the assets table have 5 row, right? 5 row. Okay. So now we can go back to view the data. We can see the 5 row here. Okay, and then let's create another dashboard to show the budget data. Okay, change the table, demo 2 budget. Okay. Okay, you see the budget. Go to the here. Okay, so this is the data to be secure, right? So now what we are going to do, we are going to extend the session variable. As I mentioned earlier, right? Basically, there are 2 main components for enable data security. One is that you need to create a session variable. Another one is that you need to create a security filter. Okay, there's 2 done. And now currently you view the data, you don't have any security. Right? Okay, so now let's create a session variable. I already create one, but I will create another. Okay, to show you how to create this. Okay, so this is basically session variable using the query distinct. Okay, this is the query language we use to query the internal variable. So this basically is saying that this is the schema, and this is the table, and this is the data we'll return. You can think of this as a select statement. Okay, selecting a column all the organization from this table, right? So you can view, if you view the Excel, you are selecting from this assets table, this column. And based on what? Based on the user, right? User based on a filter. So the filter criteria like this: user equal to user. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing again with like internal and my org2. Okay, and if you type the query distinct, right, and you get the column access list, and you want to use you want to return organization, and based on what? Based on the user, and equal to $. And these are the pre-built variable, or the variable already defined. Then we want to use user, right? So that user, okay, and then, okay. So what this is going to do is going to define you define a query when the user, this specific user login, and this query will run to fetch the data. And Incorta provide a way for you to testing this session variable. So you can test, let's say I want to test by the user 101, and we'll see, oh, the user 101 can query root, right? We go back to the source data, 101 root, right? Let's query from 102, see what happened. Okay, you can test as 102. You see like these two org, right? 1.1 and org2. Right? We can also test by user 3. 3 can see the organization 1.1.3. Right? This is the same as what I mentioned in the Excel. Right? Right? This is the way how you test it. Okay. Test the session variable. Click add a variable. The session variable will be created. Okay. Now the next step is that after the session variable is created, now when user login, you want to secure this data, right? You want to secure the budget data. You want the budget to be filtered. So there are multiple ways to attach the filter. Okay, I mentioned in the slide, this slide is that you can filter using session variable as a dashboard apply filter or an inside filter. Okay, these two options are capable if your user don't have the analyzer role and they can only view the data via the shared dashboard. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, this basically means that, okay, if you share this dashboard with your user, okay, and then you if you apply a filter here, that will be secure. So for example, right, that's now share this new dashboard. Demo 2 I didn't share it with anyone, right? So let's go back to share the demo 2 with the user 100 and share with the user 101 and share with the user 102. Okay, I share this dashboard with actually also 103, so we can test it one by one. Okay, let's say I share this folder with all this user, right? And this budget currently is not secure. So if now I log in user 101, 101, 101, and this demo 2, right? You see that the 101 can see everything, right? But based on the data, 101 should only see org1, right? So how can we accomplish this? Okay, so one way we can do is that go back to the developer. Developer is super, right? Go back to developer and to to say, okay, this table I'm going to secure based on the user, okay, and how can I secure based on the session variable, right? And I can say this organization need to equal to the session variable my org2, right? That's the one I created earlier. Okay, and this condition need to be, yeah, this already done, right? You see, immediately you cannot see any data. Why? Because of this user is super, right? Super cannot see anything, right? Because the user is, super is not the in the access group, access list, right? So now if I go back to log out and log back in as 101 and view this table, you see the data is filtered, right? So this kind of give you an idea that the inside variable can be used for data security. If this user don't have analyzer role, only see dashboard, right? This is the simplest way to build a security filter. Okay. Okay, I'm going to end this for now, and I'm going to show more advanced topic in a separate video.